Imagine you've got the superpower to spot sneaky slip-ups in the world's toughest security systems. Pretty cool, right? I mean, as cool as it can get when it comes to cybersecurity. Now, what if I told you that big shot companies like Google and IBM use something called Kali Linux to check if their security is as tight as they think? Yep, this tool isn't just for the shadowy figures in hoodies, it's a must-have for the good guys in the cybersecurity world. Today, we're diving into the top 5 Kali Linux tools that every aspiring cybersecurity hero needs to know. From snooping around network defenses to cracking the secrets of web apps and poking holes in databases, these tools are like your cybersecurity Swiss Army knife. Stick around till the end of this video to see how getting the hang of these tools can boost your cybersecurity skills and launch you into the league of extraordinary security experts. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Before we jump into the heavy lifting with our top 5 Kali Linux tools, let's do a quick meet and greet with Kali Linux itself. Perfect for those who are new to this digital dojo. Imagine Kali Linux as the ultimate utility belt, packed with all the gadgets a digital detective or a cyber superhero might need. It's like Linux went to a tech academy and graduated as a master of digital sleuthing. Kali comes stacked with a toolbox so loaded it's like the buffet of cybersecurity. From sniffing out hidden bugs to backtracking digital footprints and even pulling apart software to see what's inside, Kali's your go-to guy. Cooked up by the brainiacs at Offensive Security, it's the brainiest pick for anyone serious about security due to its smarts and flexibility. And here's a kicker, Kali is like a chameleon. Need to run a super secret mission from your USB stick? Kali morphs into your pocket-sized spy. From high-powered desktop battle stations to the humble Raspberry Pi, Kali doesn't care about size, it just gets the job done. Okay, enough chit-chat. Let's roll up our sleeves, tighten up those utility belts, and dive into the nitty-gritty. It's time to check out the top tools in Kali Linux that you've all been waiting for. First up at number 1 is Metasploit. Not your average everyday tool, but a full-blown superhero toolkit. Think of it as the Swiss Army knife for cyber whizzes. Crafted to sniff out weaknesses, smash through digital walls, and beef up those cyber muscles. Picture this. There's a security squad at a bank, and they're all about keeping their systems tough as nails to ward off any cyber villains. Along comes Metasploit to save the day. They use it to play the bad guys, launching pretend cyber attacks on their own network to see where things might go wrong. Say there's a crafty new hack trickling down the hacker grapevine, aiming to mess with banking software. Our trusty team can test it out with Metasploit to see if their bank would fall for such trickery. Here's the lowdown. The team grabs a sneaky bug from Metasploit's ever-expanding bag of tricks, which keeps growing with the latest hacker shenanigans, sets it loose on their system in a mock attack, and watches to see what unfolds. It's basically a fire drill, but for cyber attacks, no actual fires involved. By running these mock battles routinely with Metasploit, the bank's security team doesn't just keep their shields up, they also sharpen their quick response skills, ready to leap into action at the first sign of real trouble. After exploring how Metasploit flexes its muscles in the cyber world, let's switch to another super important part of keeping computers safe. Web applications. Cue the dramatic music and welcome Burp Suite, a superhero in the world of web security testing. Think of Burp Suite like the ultimate detective's toolkit in a spy movie, filled with all kinds of cool gadgets to catch sneaky bad guys. It's a favorite tool among security experts because it's got all the right stuff, like an interceptor, scanner, repeater, and sequencer. These tools help the pros poke around, check things out, and make sure web apps are as tough as a really cheap steak. Now imagine a team of cybersecurity heroes at an online store getting ready to show off their brand new website. They definitely don't want any digital thieves sneaking in, so they call on Burp Suite to give their site a health check. The scanner zips through the website like a superhero looking for weak spots, things like SQL injections and cross-site scripting. Those are major no-nos that could let hackers sneak off with your virtual shopping cart, or even worse, your personal info. When Burp Suite finds these weak spots, it doesn't just wag its finger. It gives a detailed report so the team can fix everything up nicely. It's like noticing you've got holes in your socks and patching them up before anyone can see. By mixing these security checks into their website building recipe, the team doesn't just fix the boo-boos, they make the whole site stronger. This means shoppers can click around without worry, which is great because nobody likes a website that can't keep secrets. For anyone jumping into the deep end of web app security, having Burp Suite by your side is like having a super smart friend who's always ready to help out and keep the digital streets safe. Now that we've all turned into cybersecurity detectives from exploring web application security, let's not miss out on the mysterious world of network traffic. It's like watching people at the park, but instead, you're watching data zip around. And for this job, who better to help us than Wireshark, the James Bond of network snooping tools? Wireshark lets you sit back and watch as data flies through your network. Imagine it as a huge magnifying glass that lets you spot where the trouble's brewing, whether it's a sneaky bug messing things up or just checking if your network is doing its job. Picture this. A company's network starts moving slower than a snail doing yoga. The IT team smells something fishy, maybe an unwanted visitor taking up too much space, or even some malware throwing a wild party in the network. It's Wireshark to the rescue. With Wireshark in hand, our network detectives start their hunt, sifting through the data for anything that looks out of place. They find an IP address that's acting all high and mighty, sending out tons of data like it's in a race. Using their handy tool, the IT team digs deeper to uncover what secrets are leaking out, who's getting them, and how they're being sent. Aha! They spot a compromised computer red-handed. Acting fast, they block the mischievous data at the firewall, disconnect the chatty computer, and dive into cleanup mode, scrubbing out the malware and securing the network. Thanks to Wireshark's sharp-eyed analysis, a potential headline-making disaster is just another day at the office. In the action-packed world of network security, Wireshark is the unsung hero every IT team needs. After our spy games with Wireshark, watching data packets sneak around, let's zoom out and catch a bird's-eye view of network environments with our next cool tool. Nmap, short for Network Mapper. Think of Nmap as the social butterfly of network tools flitting around the network party, getting chummy with every device it sees. This handy open-source tool is like having superhero X-ray vision for your network. It scans far and wide to spot all the gadgets hanging out on your network, peeks at open ports, and sniffs out any security no-nos. It's your first step in figuring out where the digital bullies might try to mess with your network playground. Here's a scene for you. Picture a university prepping for a new school year. They want their network locked down tighter than a drum before students come flooding in. Enter Nmap, their digital scout. It zips through the school's network, high-fiving every device it finds, from the lowly printer to the busiest routers. What if Nmap spots a printer with an open port just shouting, "Hey, come hack me"? Thanks to Nmap, the university's IT team can swoop in like superheroes to slam that door shut and keep the cyber baddies out. And if it finds some old, clunky software still hanging around, time for an update or a goodbye? No antique software allowed at this party. By keeping Nmap in their toolkit for regular checkups, the university keeps a watchful eye on their network's health, catches any odd changes, and locks down their digital doors fast if trouble shows up. So, even though Nmap might not be as flashy as some other tools, it's the trusty sidekick every network definitely needs. After our grand tour with Nmap, let's dive into a very sneaky kind of cyber mischief that loves to target databases. Meet SQLmap, the Sherlock Holmes of database security. It's an open source tool that's all about catching SQL injection flaws, those pesky vulnerabilities that let hackers sneak into databases like they've got an all-access pass. SQLmap is like that friend who automates everything. Need to test for SQL injection? SQLmap's got it. Want to take over a database server? SQLmap can do that too. It comes packed with a super smart detection engine that can spot vulnerabilities even in the most buttoned-up databases. Picture this. A healthcare provider, loaded with sensitive patient data, relies on their online systems like a heart relies on beats. To keep this lifeline secure, their cyber squad runs SQLmap to hunt for SQL injection weak spots across their patient portal. It's like sending a bloodhound out to sniff for trouble. When SQLmap finds a hole where there shouldn't be one, it doesn't just wag its tail. It offers up a playbook on how to fix these leaks, ensuring the team can patch things up faster than you can say, data protection laws. With SQLmap, the IT team not only spots the vulnerabilities, but also learns how to fortify their defenses, keeping patient data safe from the sticky fingers of cyber crooks. In the wild world of web applications, SQLmap is the go-to gadget for any ethical hacker, turning the daunting task of database defense into a walk in the park. So for those guarding the digital vaults of sensitive data, SQLmap is not just useful, it's indispensable. Today, we've had quite the adventure exploring some of the coolest tools in Kali Linux, each with its own superhero powers to help ethical hackers keep our networks and systems safe. From Nmap's awesome party skills in network mapping to SQLmap's detective work in finding database weak spots, these tools are like our digital knights in shining armor. They're super important for spotting and fixing those sneaky digital threats. Our journey today isn't just about showing off what these tools can do. It's really about how cool and important ethical hacking is for keeping our cyber world safe and sound. What do you think of our top 5 picks? Do you have a favorite Kali Linux tool that you think should be on the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's see which tools are the real MVPs according to you.